Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today we're going to chat about food shortages and inflation. I know, very exciting. I get comments often on the channel whenever I talk about food shortages, and it usually goes along the lines of what food shortages, or you mean the food shortages that aren't happening, or something snarky like that. I will say food shortages is a huge buzzword in the YouTube community. So half the time when you see that, it's usually for a title to be recommended, but there are actual food shortages. I've gotten a comment recently asking, why should I trust you? This isn't your field of study. And yes, I'm aware of that, but we're all consumers, and you can see it. You can see it in your shelves. You can see it in your own pantries at the actual grocery store. It's hard. There are food shortages right in front of our faces, and there are people actively denying that. And I find it really hard to talk about. So what I'm trying to do is kind of shift into the inflation realm. So that's why you saw that in the title. And I will say inflation is very real. You can't deny it. It's happening. It's happening at an alarming rate, and it's surging right now. And a lot of us can't keep up with it, myself included. You know, there are government programs to help people with this inflation and any food insecurity that they may have, but a lot of us kind of are on the midline where you make too much and you don't qualify for any of these programs. I've been there. I'm living that right now. And I find that it's been extremely hard for my family and I to stay under a good budget for our groceries. So I wanted to talk about some August food shortage predictions, what I plan to do about it, and hopefully in some upcoming videos I can talk about more, inflation, prices, and more of the, I guess, like numbers part of it. So I did want to make that intro before we get into any of this. But hi, hello, my name is Tori. If you're new here, love it if you hit that subscribe button. Let me know what food shortages you're seeing in your area. Let me know what prices have gone, out of control. There's so many different reasons for that. I blame a lot of different people. And it may be a bigger concept than I care to think about, but it's there. We're living it. We need food to survive. I think the powers that be know that, and that is why this is such a difficult time for America right now, but honestly, the world is experiencing it. So if you're interested, let's get right into this list. Number one on the food shortage supply list for August is corn and wheat. And that should come at no surprise to you. We have been talking about that for a year and a half. And corn, that's an issue. Corn is in everything, especially a lot of processed items. So it doesn't necessarily affect me greatly because I am trying to eat whole foods, whole plant foods, whole, just good for us foods. So I encourage you to read your labels. That is what I'm doing about it. That's what I'm doing to combat the shortage of corn, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Honestly, a poor harvest is to blame. I've talked to farmers around my area. My neighbor had a terrible harvest. His son did as well. And it's just alarming. My father-in-law, who is in agriculture back home in Pennsylvania, commented that, a lot of the fields just don't look right. And it got me thinking, it got me wondering. So I asked around and he was right. They don't look right. A lot of crops aren't growing. That could be due to soil. Honestly, in Colorado, we're having a strange summer full of a lot of humidity. So it's bringing in a lot of bugs, a lot of pests. And the people that own that land are kind of just up in arms. Some are not really sure what to do. They haven't experienced this. So that is just something to think about. The second thing I was talking about was wheat. And that is because a lot of our supply is being tampered with / it can't get to us. So you really have to think about the supply of whatever the shortage is and where it's coming from. I'm not going to comment on where we get our wheat from. You can totally Google it. I've talked about it before on the channel and a lot of you agree. It's a bummer. My solution to that is just to stock up on what you need. Stock up on that flour, put it in some Mylar, stock up on wheat berries even, find a mill to grind it down. Perhaps go to a different source. Maybe take wheat out of your diet and find something else. I suggest stocking up on sourdough starters. Many companies sell them. You can look around for each one. I really love Ballerina Farms on Instagram. She's just great. She's from Utah, has a ton of kids, just honestly is so inspiring her entire life. So she has a sourdough starter. Whispering Willow Farms, they have a sourdough starter. I'm sure all of you may know about them. I have stocked up on them, but sourdough is one venture I just don't really have time to go into right now. But you can make sourdough starter shelf stable, so you could put it in some Mylar is what I've heard. I do not have any experience doing that though, so I can't demonstrate that for you or anything. But when I'm thinking of a shortage, my next tip is to find a way around it with the different ingredients. So I'm stocking up on those gluten-free flours. I'm stocking up on oats to grind down to oat flour. There's a lot of different ways to get around this, but if you are a wheat person and you need it, buy it in bulk. Azure Standard has a phenomenal selection. You can buy it in bulk. You can keep it in some 5-gallon buckets that you can get for free just about anywhere. Make sure you have a gamma lid to keep that tight. I store mine in Mylar and then the bucket with the gamma lid, just for some extra protection against rodents or humidity. Really anything. Light is a big source. So those are the 2 top ones on the list of shortages for August. But honestly, that has been the prediction for the last year. So I have to put that in there. But a lot of these items may be a repeat. And you know, it has me thinking, am I seeing in my stores these shortages? I am seeing an inflated price on just about everything that contains that ingredient. So it is something to think about. Again, if you're not seeing it in your area, lucky you, but I'm sure it will come. And you know, some of these prices aren't a big deal to people, but even if I was a millionaire, I had an infinite amount of money, I would still shop on the cheap. That's just who I am. I get a thrill out of budgeting. I get a thrill out of saving money. So even if this doesn't affect you, please know, just find it in your heart to not call us crazy and, you know, help us find solutions. So if you have any solutions to these things, definitely drop it down in the comments. Number 3 on the list, aluminum. I know we have said aluminum for so long, and the aluminum can shortage is totally a real thing, and a lot of us preppers have some canned items in our prepper pantries. They're easy, they're light, you don't need water to cook a lot of these items, so they're great for bug out bags. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the amazing benefits of having canned food, but it is something to think about. So again, you can stock up on canned food right now while you can. I would suggest maybe no salt added, organic, you know, good food. Really read those ingredients. Even vegetables, they sneak some random natural flavors and strange oils into. So read your labels in the grocery store. And we have been talking about a peel that is Bill Gates' project out of California. It's a coating to make vegetables last longer and things of that nature. So I'm sure it will be creeping into our canned items in the upcoming years. I don't know how that's going to be handled. I know they have to make it aware that a peel has been sprayed on this produce, but I cannot figure out how they're getting around doing it to organic produce. So maybe you all have some insight on it. I've read some articles, but I can't wrap my head around how they're doing that. I have a few theories because the owner himself owns a lot of land in the United States and wherever else, honestly, everywhere. So yeah, that's something to think about. But if you're not wanting to buy more canned items, you could learn how to make shelf-stable food yourself. So that means water bath canning, pressure canning, dehydrating foods and storing them in glass, using bulk buys and storing them in Mylar, having a root cellar, growing your own food, and then processing it. So there's a lot of different things that you could do to combat this aluminum shortage. But if you really need that canned food, I would suggest buying some now. Walmart has a great variety, and honestly, they're super cheap. It doesn't have to be organic, especially in the prepper pantry. In an emergency scenario, it does not matter if that produce is organic or not. It just matters if everyone's fed and well taken care of. So that is something to think about. I know I speak on organic a lot. Pesticides have a huge negative effect on all of us. I think we can all agree, but honestly, some of us don't agree on that. So look into that. Look into these things that they, spray on our crops. And I've talked to some seasoned farmers in the area. I've asked about the organic produce, and a lot of them get defensive because, it's their livelihood, and having an organic field is super expensive. They spray for pests, they spray for drought, and if any of that affects their crop, it affects their livelihood. So I get that. I get why they're being defensive, but in all reality, a lot of those pesticides are, again, terrible for us. They're killing us, and they're causing these ailments to keep us dependent on big pharma. And if you don't think that has been planned, then I don't know what to tell you. But that's the research I've done, and that is what I keep in the back of my mind. So not to get off on a tangent, but organic doesn't have to happen in your kitchen, but please keep those issues in the back of your mind. Number 4-ish on the list, I guess number 1 was 2 things. So number 4 on the list is going to be crops from California. California supplies 74% of our crops. Don't quote me on that percentage. It's high. It's in the 70s and it's high. But anyways, they supply most of it. They had a terrible season. There's a lot of stuff happening in California. I know I have some followers from there. I'm not talking crap on your state, but a lot of stuff has been happening with landowners and their crops and what they can do with their crops and their land. So yeah, I would be leery of getting crops from California, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's really, really hard because when you look in the grocery store, you are finding them everywhere. They're either from Mexico or they're from California. So I would double check, number 1, to look for the appeal sticker. I would not eat something that has an appeal sticker on it. And that's spelled APEEL, just in case anyone was wondering. You can read about it all on their website. It's a very fancy website, and it will tell you where their produce is. But there are a lot of companies saying that they're not going to be spraying it. But crops coming out of California, they're supposedly supposed to be in shortage. So tomatoes are a big one, and you have to think of the ingredient and what that ingredient goes into. So kind of like our corn. Tomatoes goes into tomato sauce, so you might be lacking on some jarred sauce. So that would be a reason to start water bath canning. Tomato sauce is super easy to water bath can if you're comfortable with it. But you can also make tomato sauce and freeze them in mason jars. In a grid down scenario, a generator is not going to keep your freezer stock going for long, but it is another way to store your produce or store what you're making your produce into, if that makes sense. So I get a lot of hate about using the freezer as a prepper pantry way to store items, but I don't know. I think it's great. We pull from the freezer, we rotate it just like our regular pantry. So that's something to keep in mind. And last but not least is number 5 on the list, and it's avocados. Again, it takes a break and it comes back, and it takes a break and it comes back. And avocados are on this list because of the inflated price. I saw one at the grocery store the other day, unorganic, 1 avocado for $4.79. There's some people to blame, so I definitely would look into that. I'm not going to speak on it just because I'm uncomfortable talking about it, but yeah, I don't buy an avocado for $4.79. That's silly. I find freeze-dried avocados a lot, and I also find guacamole on sale a lot. If you didn't know, you can stick that in the freezer, and it can be part of your avocado toast. If you like just eating an avocado, then maybe skip a few weeks or so. I get it. It's a great healthy fat, but avocados, I'm sure we can all live without. There's a lot on this list that we can live without. I do get that comment a lot. It's silly to talk about this kind of thing because you could live without it. That's true. But a lot of us have these staples in our homes, and, it could mess up some routine that we have. So I do like talking about it. Avocado, last on the list. Please look into why that might be, and definitely check your sources when it comes to looking on Google about food shortages, inflation, and who's putting the information out. Some of these statistics I've read with certain government agencies putting out their information are just, they're laughable because, they're so untrue. wildly untrue, and honestly, it's really unsafe for the American people. And I say that just because, you know, I live in the United States, but of course I care about all of you in the world. So I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say. I have a, you know, limited window of time to make these videos, and I'm trying my best. My husband has gone back to work, and I am just solo momming it with a new baby who's a bit colicky. So I have these tiny windows, and if I'm talking too fast or if I seem scattered, I want you to know why. And I'm not going to apologize for it, but I did want to kind of fill you in as to what's going on the channel. So I'm trying my best. And if you didn't know, I do have another channel, so I am uploading a video every single day. I wanted to thank all of you who watch both channels and comment on both channels. That means you're just watching my videos, and it means the world. And to be honest with you, my family could really use the help right now. So I appreciate every single one of you. I really want to talk to you about some of these shortages and what you're thinking. What are you doing to combat this? And let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I promise I'm not always this scattered. I've been making videos for 5 years. There's plenty to look back on in my playlist. And again, would love it if you hit that subscribe button. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time.